Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to Anime King 3. I got this idea some time ago, as this will be from the day in the life of an Immortal King. So, this will be part 1 of What If Naruto Had the Powers of Wang Ling, guys. If you haven't checked out that anime, I highly suggest that you do. It's pretty awesome. So let us convert what he is into the Naruto universe, making Naruto something that is truly terrifying, but at the same time, unusual. So if you like part 2 of this and if you like to see how this story will play out, just go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, let us jump right into this brand new episode. Let us begin now, guys. Our story begins within the village known as Konoha, nestling within the land of fire, hailed as the strongest village within the entirety of the elemental nation. However, at the moment, our story follows a girl as she moved, hiding as she did, following, observing. Her name was Hinata Hyuga. She had lavender eyes, a great description of the Byakugan. Not only did she hail from the clan, she was a daughter of the clan head. Well, one of the daughters. She had a younger sister. She kept on moving behind the fences, observing and watching him as he walked. Her point of interest was a young boy. Spiky blonde hair, blue eyes, 3 whisker marks on both of his cheek. His hair, long enough to hide the mark on the back of his neck, a very special mark, as he walked with a bag of chips, seeming to be doing absolutely nothing. But she did not stop following him, observing him, because unlike most people, she knew that he was special. Very, very special. It started a few years ago. Hinata Hyuga was just waking up. After she was knocked unconscious, the person that was there was a cloud shinobi, hailing from the land of lightning. His goal was to kidnap her. He managed to sneak her out of the clan quarters as they were booking it down the street. Consciousness kicked in when she fell on the ground, rather softly, as she saw. The man was looking rather shocked. He had bumped into someone. The problem was, the man had been the one to be knocked back, Hinata falling. The young child was just 3 years old. So was Hinata as well. Now you would be thinking, what was a 3-year-old boy doing out this late at night? Well, he went to get chips. He really enjoyed these chips. It was a spicy flavor. Chips that he enjoyed very much. He enjoys spicy things. The barbecue spicy chicken. Not to mention the ramen spicy toppings. He enjoyed them rather well. Naruto Uzumaki did not seem to perceive the danger until he noticed the young girl, bound. As he saw the look in her eyes, the man immediately drew his kunai. He was about to use the hilt to knock the boy in the back of the neck, wanting to scare him enough so he did not move. He used his speed as he got behind the child, but Both Hinata and the Kumo ninja was shocked as Naruto ducked, avoiding, and moving forward. Somehow he reached Hinata rather quickly, as he undid the straps by simply breaking the rope. "Are you okay?" he questioned, his tone so nonchalant and rather calm. She looked up with teary eyes. She wanted to nod, but the man appeared behind Naruto once again. The scream barely left her throat. As Naruto jumped up, he gave the man a kick. It sent him straight into the sky. The violent launch had the man coming back down with a boom, crushing into the ground. He was out cold, bones cracking, blood leaking from his nose and mouth, luckily alive for his sake. At the same time, Naruto caught the chips that fell from the bag due to him flipping. He looked towards Hinata as he turned his gaze. The shinobis were a distance away, her father included, yet he saw them rather clearly. He then turned and started to walk away, leaving her shocked as she rubbed her eyes, wondering if she was seeing reality. It was a mystery from that day on. When Hinata was speaking to the Hokage, she saw that same boy. He brought a finger to his lips telling her to shh. He didn't want them to know that he was the one that saved her. Why? She did not know. She told them that she was saved by a man who went away the moment he saved her. She lied for him to her father, to the Hokage. She didn't know why. Well, he did save her, but still. She had kept that secret for the longest time. Most of the time she wondered if he was some sort of spirit, as she had never seen him again until she started the academy. As she saw him, his name was Naruto Uzumaki. She also heard people talking about him badly, whispering, due to her watching him constantly. Some did not seem to mind him in the slightest, his lack of interaction with them. But he was nice, even in the academy. He seemed to try his best, but Hinata noticed that he seemed to be holding back, like he did not want anyone to know what he was capable of. She was finding it hard to talk to him, as she felt nervous around him. She wanted to get her courage up so that she could say to him, "Thank you for that night." She wondered if he even remembered. He caught her looking at him several times, and yet he never showed an inkling of change in emotion. But he was a nice person, she noticed that. He just wasn't that loud or overreactive. "Spying on him again, are you?" Hinata froze as she turned to see Big Brother Neji, she said. He was actually her cousin, but that is what she called him. That night, after she was saved, the Raikage denied everything. He denied knowing that man. The perpetrator was executed due to what they had signed that night, as it was a peace treaty between the villages. Execution for those that break it. The Raikage had denied everything. Konoha was rather aware that he was lying, but to avoid chaos, to avoid war, they accepted, eliminating that threat. And so, the Hyugas continue on. Hinata was raised by her father, her mother dying sometime after Hanabi was born. But she had people there to help her. Neji. Neji was her personal guard. While she had Keo, her attendant, Neji was being trained to keep her safe, as she was going to be the head of the clan. His father was her uncle, the close tie there, so Neji was being trained for the position. As he seemed to be caring of young Hinata, she was nice, gentle, but he tried to show her that she needed to be able to protect herself. Neji helped her a lot when it came to her self-confidence. She was more outspoken than ever before. Neji was one of the few people that she told the truth about Naruto, who kept her secret. Neji just did not see it. He did not feel or see anything special about the young boy, not in the slightest. But Hinata was determined to find out exactly what happened that night, and why did he hide his strength away. The fact that she could merely go up and ask him and talk to him, given that he wasn't a very, standoffish person. Well, Neji supposed that she was just shy when it came to that kind of things, and that just would not change. It seemed she took a liking to him. However, when they turned back, he was gone. Where did he go? They couldn't find him. Meanwhile, Naruto stood in a tree. As he appeared there like it was nothing. Naruto Uzumaki, that was his name. From he was a baby, he knew that he was special. Very, very special. It happened when he was around a month old. Something just clicked. Something just stirred. It seemed like whatever it was holding back. When he was a month old though, he felt it, understanding. He understand things that normal babies should not. He could speak within his mind, he could understand. He quickly learned why the people treated him the way they did. He understand their fear. However, it was his own hurt that changed some of them. He could make people, like him better, as he could place a compulsion over them. Those that were around him, those that didn't have a strong will, he could compel them with his eyes alone. But he hated to rob people will. Whenever he looked at someone, he could see the mark above their head. His eyes were not normal. They were greater than the Sharingan. They were greater than the Byakugan. Greater than any eyes in existence. There was a lot that he kept to himself. Because Naruto just wanted to be normal. He knew he was strange. Not taking into effect the Nine Tails, or who his parents were. He knew everything. He was born with a special energy, spiritual energy. It was boundless, a universal force that he could feel, that he could sense. However, he made all sensors perceive him as weak, not to mention the mark on the back of his neck. That is something that was complex. Flashback. It happened when he was just a month old. Biblical effects took place all around the world. Yes, the very universe itself was being torn apart. You see, the moment Naruto gained sentient was the moment that his abilities truly started to surface. However, they were too great. And while he was very smart and capable, the newly awakened power was just something that could not be bound by mortal comprehension. The very universe itself started to fight back. The seal of samsara. It appeared on Naruto's neck. Before that, though, the heavens opened up as a bright light, faster than the eye could see, faster than the speed of light, struck down and hit Naruto. It bind his power. His hair mostly covered it now, but the seal was there on the back of his neck. It locked away in 99.9999% of his power, restricting him. But the seal was bound to his will. It could be broken, but Naruto realized that given the amount of power that was at his disposal right now, it was best if it stayed where it was. It took him some time to learn how to control himself. He's talked to himself constantly in his mind, restricting himself from hurting people, throwing things too far, pushing things too hard. His body was powerful. The spiritual energy inside of him was too great. But over time, he's learned how to control it. But he knew that this would make him even more a pariah. He enjoyed the simple things in life. He enjoyed hanging out with Shikamaru because Shikamaru enjoyed watching the clouds. He enjoyed eating with Choji. He enjoyed exploring for new bugs with Shino. They were his friends. He was quite aware that Hinata was observing him. It seems that she still remembered that night. However, in some areas, Naruto found it hard to speak to some people. Not that he was shy or anything, but he get nervous too, despite how powerful he was. And she wasn't just any girl. Back then he had no idea who she was, but she was constantly following him. She wasn't alone though. She had someone else with her, another Hyuga, an older boy. Naruto wondered if she would ever come up and talk to him. But all he wanted was just a normal life. Just to be seen as normal. Knowing that the Ninetales was already a touchy subject. And he did not like to rob people of their free will. If they found out that he was this powerful, it would simply get a whole lot worse. But Hinata knew a fragment of what she saw that night. He had to learn how to control his spiritual aura. It protected him like an ultimate defense. He had bullies. Yes, he had bullies in the academy when he just started, and in the orphanage. When they tried to attack him, the spiritual aura, it attacked them instead. It repelled them, but given their body was so weak, it harmed them. But he had learned how to control that, suppress himself even more than the seal was suppressing him. As Naruto found that okay, because he enjoyed life. While most people still did not get over the fact that he was a Ninetales Jinchuriki, most seemed to be okay with it. And Naruto was okay with that. Time skip. As stated before, Shino was a close friend of his. As Naruto and Shino tend to venture out, while the others did not seem to like this, Shino was happy to call Naruto a friend. Because Naruto enjoyed searching for rare bugs like him, seeing and understanding new species. He liked the adventure when it came to it, and he wasn't freaked out by it. When Naruto first came up to him when they were much younger and questioned him about the bugs, Shino believed that he was doing this to make fun of him, but it was not. From then on, they became good friends. What Shino did notice though, when he brought Naruto by his compound, his parents acted strange at first until Shino told them that Naruto was a friend, and they seemed to be okay with that. He shrugged that off a long time ago though. However, due to his, dream of finding a rare species that no other Aberami have ever seen or no other human, they ventured deep within the forest. I think we should head back, Shino said, in his rather calm tone, similar to Naruto. Yes, it's getting pretty late. As they were heading back, Shino realized they were much deeper than they thought. Unfortunately though, their little frames caught the attention of a massive bear who had ventured from the other side, where the forest of death was. The growl immediately shocked Shino. As he turned and saw it, they started to slowly back away. Run, Shino said. They took off, running through the forest, trying to make it towards the gate to go over like they did. However, the bear was much faster. Shino thought this was it. He turned, ready to face the bear. At least it would buy Naruto some time. The bugs, still immature, young, but they would at least buy some time for Naruto to escape. However, Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder. Shh, he said. The bear seemed to stop immediately. Shino was confused, but remained quiet due to Naruto's instructions. He didn't understand. As the bear turned and walked away, what just happened? Another one of Naruto's techniques, the Great Vanishing Spell. He concealed his aura along with Shino. They were completely invisible in that moment. Shino looked at Naruto, who did not lie. He simply told him what happened, as Naruto considered Shino a really close friend. Shino was curious, but he saw that it wasn't something that Naruto wanted to go into. And that is the thing about him, he was really respectful when it came to that. Thus, they finished the day, having gotten a lot of samples. Things went like that for the rest of the academy. Until, it was a week before graduation, she finally decided to confront him. As Naruto was in the training field, simply lying down, observing the stars. His eyes could see far more than what normal people could. She stepped out. She cleared and released a breath. Naruto looked up and smiled. Well, he got nervous as he did, judging by the expression on her face. The thing was, she was also nervous as well, and it made her look a bit angry as her eyes focused down on him. "Hello," she said, her voice trembling a bit. "Hello," said Naruto. You saved me," she said. "Yes, I did. You remember?" "Yes. I don't really forget anything," said Naruto. "That night, the shinobi from the Cloud Village, he tried to kidnap me. You kicked him so high, and then you told me not to tell anyone what I saw." "Why?" she said. Knowing that they were going to leave the academy soon, she realized that she needed to say something. "I already stand out quite a lot. I don't want to stand out anymore." "So, you're special," she said. "In a way, yes. You've been spying on me for the longest time to find out more." She turned red. You notice?" She stammered a bit. "Something that Neji has been helping her with." "Yes, I have." "So you were purposely acting normal?" "Well, not really. I am normal, I just can do things that others can't really do." "That night, you saved my life. I don't even know what would have happened if you weren't there." Naruto got up and smiled. "It's the normal thing to do," he said, as he gave her a tiny bow before walking away. Feeling a bit nervous himself, she was kind. "Hey, thanks," she said, waving goodbye towards him. He looked away, walking off. Hinata smiled. He was nervous just like her. That is what she took from the experience. It made her smile. Time skip. While Naruto could do your average things that normal shinobis can do, he can learn things at least a trillion times faster than anyone else. His perception on things was that insane. However, he can also do the normal things in strange ways, like splitting himself into a self-clone. This clone wasn't a shadow clone that would pop like that. He can isolate a fragment of himself and split it in a way that had the same consciousness, same thoughts, everything as him. Even if he were to die in a way, the clone would be no different from what he is. His essence would still remain. He never really thought about death, as he wondered if he was strong enough to prevent even that. He still did not know the full extent of his own power. He did not really sleep that much, in fact. He did not really need to do those normal things. He did not really need to breathe. He's been underwater for hours already. He can sleep if he wants to. He enjoyed to eat though. That was nice. As Naruto was roaming the streets like he always did. Most times he was bored, so he enjoyed just moving around. He could cover almost all of Konoha quickly, but he enjoyed taking his pace, because if he did, it would be boring, and he would have to leave the village to see outside. Strange thing is, despite fully being able to, he hasn't left the village. He didn't know why. He saw Anfu's, moving. He's seen them before, but something seemed to be up. He stepped into the shadow and vanished away. It was easy to view the memories on the front part of someone's mind. Just the recent thoughts, as Naruto learned that the Forbidden Scroll had been stolen. Now that was surprising. He remembered the Hokage speaking about this. The Hokage was someone that wanted to protect him. But the man was too old. He was trying his best. Naruto could see that from every moment that drags on, where he doesn't tell him that he's a 9-tailed Jinchuriki or who his parents were. He was trying his best, but it was hard. Naruto did not really blame him that much. Most people, well, majority did not know how advanced he actually was. While some people tend not to like him, some did. And Naruto enjoyed a lot of places within Konoha. His favorite Ichiraku ramen. Konoha's secrets getting out was not something that he wanted. He took to the sky. With his spiritual energy, he could fly rather easily. Most people, most ninjas could not. Naruto was in mid-air as he looked around. He closed his eyes. He could hear everything, spreading his senses all over. As he heard it, so what now? We will lie low. We will keep the scroll here. They won't find it. Naruto moved off, arriving as he settled on the tree. He was surprised. He tended not to read people's mind, believing that it was invading their privacy. He had no reason to do that, not to mention some of the ones that did not like him have some bad thoughts. But Naruto was surprised to see that it was Mizuki, and another one that he did not know, Toji. But Toji worked where the scroll was. Mizuki had promised him a lot. He got what he wanted though. After 4 years of planning, they finally got the Forbidden Scroll. And in return, handing it over to their true master, they would get the power that they wanted. Immediately Naruto switched. His body grew as a mask appeared on his face. He transformed into one of the Anvus. He jumped down, his voice gruff. I found you. Both Toji and Mizuki immediately froze up. Seeing the leader of the main Anvu squad. His name was Kuma. Kuma was a different kind of monster, physical wise. Of all people, here, now, to think someone that works so closely would be a traitor. No, you don't understand, Toji said. He forced me to do it. Mizuki immediately started to sweat. Toji sell him out almost instantly, fearing his own demise. Mizuki had nothing to fear anymore. He had to make a run for it. He drew for an explosive tag and strapped it to Toji and kicked him forward. Toji's eyes went wide as he tried to reach it. Boom! However, as Mizuki took off, not seeing what truly happened, a strange forceful energy forced the explosion back in as Naruto condensed the blast, surrounding it with a force field, squashing the sound and everything. Toji was shocked. How did you bam? With the back of his hand, he knocked him out cold. Mizuki was moving as fast as he can go when Kuma appeared. Did you really believe that it would be that easy? It is time for you to face the consequences of your action. No, you won't take me in, Mizuki said, launching Fuma shurikens, despite knowing that it was pointless. Naruto held his hand up as they froze. Telekinesis. As he controlled them with his spiritual energy, he sent them sailing to the opposite sides. Mizuki was confused. He didn't get to say it out loud as Naruto's fist buried into his stomach. He keeled over as Naruto uppercut him. Out like a light, he dragged his body and the scroll. As he placed them down, He sat down and placed hands on the both of their heads as he started to mess with their own thoughts. He manipulated their mind in their subconscious, making them go at each other in their own mind, making them believe that it was reality. In the end, they were able to knock each other out. Once Naruto was done, he threw one of the explosive in the air. Anvu's descent almost immediately. They thought they were speaking nonsense when they said that Kuma was the one that was there. However, they were the ones that did it to one another. They were trying to throw them off the Anvu's thought to themselves. They brought them in, it was them, the perpetrators, and in the end they turned against each other. But it doesn't really matter though. They would be punished severely. Yes, they would. Time skip. Hayashi Hyuga was there as the teams were being formed. He spoke personally to the Hokage. Hinata was on the track to becoming the first leader, female leader that is of the clan. He wanted a teacher that would truly make her powerful. He wanted the greatest Jonin sensei that would be available. Hiruzen decided to do him this favor, believing that it would be overall better for the team despite the balance would be a bit shifted. But when he looked at Naruto grades were perfect. Not in terms of it being all hundreds, but it was always above the line, never below. He was right in the middle. Sasuke Uchiha though was something special, but Hinata was not the top girl in the class. He decided to make some tweaks to the team placement. Hinata has been getting a lot of help from Neji and her uncle as well, that wanted nothing but for the betterment of her growth. Thus, she's been excelling. Yes, the main family was seen as something great in the clan. Neji knew that Hinata was different, as she never treated him like the others, and she would never raise her hand to activate that seal. Never. Her and her sister was different. However, the elders went out of their way to try and push a separation. However, the Branch family was trying to show that they were still all Hyugas, which led to the, well, great help that Hinata received on a daily basis. Hisashi, Neji's father, was a very special person. Most did not know this, but in a battle, Hisashi would win 6 out of 10 of the times. When it came to him and Hayashi, their strength was almost equal, but Hisashi had an edge. But the mark on his forehead always prevented that from being seen. Just because Hayashi was born first, that was the only reason. Something Hinata wanted to destroy within her clan, because she didn't want her sister to be branded. She didn't want anyone to be branded. When the day came, Iruka announced the teams that were going to be placed. Hinata was shocked and happy, overjoyed really, as she heard her name and his name on the same team, along with Sasuke Uchiha. Now that was different. Very, very different. Naruto remembered that night. He was 6 years old. However, he wasn't on the surface. He had been digging deep beneath Konoha, searching for something, a rare piece of metal that he had felt within the earth, something that dated back to over 5,000 years ago. He remembered seeing the Anvus and the Hokage rushing towards the Uchiha compound. He remembered hearing as Naruto saw Sasuke. The boy has been through so much. While he was never raised with his parents, Sasuke had it all. And to know that it was all taken away by your own brother must be hard. Extremely so. Team 8 had Sakura, Haruno, Kiba, and Shino. Hiruzen had made a swap there, as Sakura had the highest potential for genjutsu when it came to the females in the class. as her chakra control was excellent. Having Kurenai UI as her sensei would be perfect. One by one, all the senseis came, leaving only 3 children. Hinata, while she wasn't that shy anymore, she found it hard to just go up and react with someone. Yes, Naruto was standoffish, while he did not mean to come off as such. Sasuke was gloomy most of the time and stood by himself. Thus, the team was very silent. Hinata realized they would stay like this if someone did not do something, as Neji words came to her mind when she was talking about her fear of being on a team. How would it work out? Teammates socialize with one another, and they get all up in your personal business. Sometimes it can be really annoying, said Neji, as he seemed to have some bad examples, speaking about his own team. She's seen his teammates before, coming by the compound. He was probably talking about the one in the green spandex. He was really loud, calling himself the bright beast of Konoha, something like that. Hinata made a move towards Naruto, as she placed on a smile. I guess we're going to be on the same team, she said. Yes, he said, answering just like that, as he did not leave any room for any follow-up questions. But she continued on. I guess we should properly know one another. I know you, said Naruto. You do? Yes. You're Hinata Hyuga, daughter of Hayashi Hyuga, older sister to Hanabi Hyuga, cousin to Neji Hyuga. Also, next in line to be the clan head of your clan. Her expression made Naruto realize that might come off a bit too creepy. However, he tended to know a lot about people when he studied them. A little bit of hobby of his. Due to the fact that he could be one place and another very quickly and also hide from the, naked eye. However, Hinata did not see it as such. The mere fact that he went to find out about her made her blush. Sasuke watched as the both of them spoke to one another, until they looked at him as he turned away, having no reason why he felt so shy in this moment, as those two were not someone that really talk. When the both of them started to approach him, he shrugged off the feeling though. He was better than that. Hey there, Hinata said. She's never spoken to him before. I guess we're gonna be on the same team. As they were talking, they should bring him in their circle. Yes, Sasuke said, trying his best to remain aloof. I wonder what is taking our sensei, said Naruto. They sat down closer. They all seemed to enjoy the silence in a way, and it worked. As they waited and waited, he knew Kakashi Hatake rather well. Naruto enjoys studying people. He linked him to his father. He was a student of his father. 2 of his teammates died during the 3rd Great Shinobi War. He had an implanted Sharingan. He's known as Konoha Copy Ninja because he's copied over 1,000 techniques. Yes, Naruto liked to study people. They were all brought to the roof. Hinata desired to change her clan, to make it better. She felt a bit strange saying it out loud, due to her knowing what happened to Sasuke and his clan. Sasuke desired to remake his clan, but before, he wanted to kill a certain someone. That is where Naruto froze up. Kakashi and everyone looked towards him. He enjoyed living in the moment. As he never really thought about death, he really did not think about the future. I honestly don't know. That's okay. It is, Naruto said. Of course it is, said Kakashi. You're still young. You're just becoming a ninja of your village. You will have time to think it over, Kakashi said. He remiss, knowing that in the earlier days, children didn't have this luxury. Well, this is what they sacrificed for and fought for. Time skip. The next day, Kakashi was late once again. However, when the bells were brought out, Naruto realized that the man was playing them. It wasn't hard to see. While he wasn't theoretically reading his mind, well, he told himself that to not feel like he's invading people's personal space. It was just the frontal thoughts. Naruto learned the truth. Time skip. When Kakashi arrived late, as everyone else had been already there to tell Hiruzen about the teams passing and the teams failing, he could see that something was up. The question about them passing was confirmed they did. However, Kakashi was curious about Naruto Uzumaki. Not only did they all work together, Kakashi did not know who started the chain for them to come together as one. However, his eyes, I saw them. It was for a second, but I saw them. He was looking at me. Hiruzen did not understand. No, my exact movements. Somehow he saw everything I was doing. It's almost like he was predicting and reacting, but at the same time forcefully stopping himself from attacking me. Why would he do that? Hiruzen said, not understanding. Naruto was not a weak child, but he was far, far from the best. But Kakashi had this inkling from sparring with him today. The boy was better than he lets on. Stronger, perhaps. Hiruzen was curious, as that thought had never crossed his mind, him having visited Naruto on numerous occasions. He told Kakashi that it was his team now. He was supposed to be there to watch over and study them. The problem with Team 7 being they're quiet. They did not confront many things. It was Sasuke that finally snapped out of all of them. Iruka was there as they were in the mission room. He's tired of this. None of these missions are worth his time. Kakashi stepping in as he would suffer the backlash from this, telling him to behave. However, when Hiruzen questioned if he believed they were ready, Iruka had something to say. He was still holding on to the pass, but Kakashi made it rather clear that he was their Jonin sensei, and he knew what was better for them than anyone else. Thus, Team 7 got their mission, their first mission outside the village, as they ventured towards the land of Wave. On the way there, Hinata has been outside the village before with her father. She was aware of the location, but she's never been there before. It helped her get over her past shyness. As she questioned Tazuna, he was happy to reply, speaking highly of his village, giving it nothing but praise. Aware that bandits might arrive, she kept on scanning the place periodically. As she saw it, the illusion, she saw the two chakra masks underneath. This would provide the perfect point if they didn't have a Hyuga. Kakashi brought a finger up to his lips under the mask as he told her to shh. Hinata was confused, as she wanted to tell them that there was a threat ahead, but her sensei didn't seem to want them to know. Why not? However, she was much too respectful to go against his orders. As they continue on, the demon brothers emerge and ripped Kakashi apart. Hinata saw that it was a fake though, as she realized that he was testing them, but she was in the loop. Sasuke reacted almost instantly. Naruto on the other hand did not move, as he stood in the center. The moment the chain break because of Sasuke, they went around him. Now Naruto was in their path. Sasuke slowed Miyaizo down, but Gozu aimed to take Naruto down with a single swipe. Kakashi saw it. No hand sign. It was so fast that you would think that he did do it, due to his back being turned, but Kakashi noticed that his hands did not raise, as a clone just materialized out of him. The demon brother was unable to stop as a fist buried into his stomach. The original uppercut him as he fell back, out like a light. It was so little effort. The other one was vigorously swiping at Sasuke, trying to take him down. But Sasuke was proven to be more than what he is. A genin, yes, but his skills were great. As Naruto stepped on the chain, Kakashi blinked. Oh, it was a clone. Wait, there was no clone. Kakashi was aware that there was two of them, but he took his eyes off him for a fraction of a second. The chain stopped his movements. Sasuke jumped and gave him a kick that snapped his head to the sky, followed up with a spinning attack. His head smashed into the tree. The force was much more violent as he went through it. As Kakashi noticed Naruto's fingers having leave the chain in the final moments, even Sasuke blinked, not expecting to see Naruto behind him. What the hell? The demon brother was taken care of though, as they learned that this mission was much more than it seems. Naruto was fully aware. However, Kakashi Hatake was strong enough to handle any threat, and if the threat became too great in numbers, he was there so they would be fine. They continue on. Kakashi said nothing of Naruto. He just gave them praise. Hinata did not hesitate. Proving that she was no coward, she had immediately jumped in front of Tazuna, ready to strike, while the boys handled work right there. As they continue on, Hinata was having a hard time. There was so much chakra in the mist, it was starting to affect her eyes. Zabuza Momochi was watching along with Haku, as he was the one that created the mist. However, as the team was traversing through it, the mist started to thin. What the hell? Zabuza said. Kakashi was fully aware that someone stronger was there. The mist had so much chakra, Hinata pointed it out. But the mist was starting to thin out. Zabuza, accomplice, Haku turned towards him. Are you doing this? That was the only explanation. Zabuza went through hand sign once again. Mist filling the entire place, but just like before it started to thin. What the hell is going on, he said. As he saw nothing from them, why was his chakra mist thinning away? His surprise attack wouldn't be so surprising. He can't afford to lose the time. He immediately attacked. Haku watched, trying to pinpoint which one of them it was. If it was one of them, that means there could be surrounding enemies that was able to disable the secret art mist jutsu. How would they even do that? Haku wondered as they move. Zabuza wasted no time. Him and Kakashi went toe to toe. As the copy ninja was about to be captured, Hinata saw Naruto turn his back and picked up a pebble, his eyes gazing over the horizon. The next moment, Zabuza was hit. He staggered. Kakashi kicked his leg away and stomped into his gut, sending him towards a tree. He tried to pick himself up as Kakashi went through hand sign. That momentary lapse cost him. A massive water dragon slammed into him. Bones broke as he was ripped through several other trees. Kakashi moved in to end the battle, but by the time he arrived, Zabuza was gone. As Kakashi did not see the mirror vanishing away. He made his way back to his team. Hinata was looking at Naruto with shock, clearly on her face. However, her face returned back to normal as Kakashi arrived, having seen something rather abnormal as well. Meanwhile, what happened back there? You just stopped. I didn't stop, something hit me. Zabuza said, showing the bruise right near his kidney. Something struck him and fell into the water. It was enough to knock him off balance, and that moment Kakashi capitalized on that and took him down. The team made their way back, Kakashi having enough energy. He was surprised. Due to the exertion of the Sharingan, he should be weaker, but he felt okay. It was strange, he thought to himself. As they carried on, Zabuza was alive. Someone saved him, so next time, they had to be prepared. Sasuke seemed to be okay with that, wanting to prove himself the next time against Zabuza's accomplice or whoever it was. When they were away, Hinata pulled Naruto aside. As they were outside the house, what did you do back there? He looked at her confused. I saw you. You threw that pebble. What was that? He tried to play it off as nothing. But why would someone randomly throw a pebble for no reason? As he tried to play it off like nothing happened, Hinata had taken her eyes off the battle. That is why she did not see what happened. Over time, the seal that was literally created by the universe to bind his strength, to keep it in check, was weakening. More of his power was slipping out. That pebble that Naruto threw, he surrounded in spiritual energy. He knew if he threw it forward, they might see, so he threw it around the world. Yes, you heard that right. He marked the spot. His own back. That is why he was gazing to the horizon. The pebble would move across the world and came back to him. So he moved over so that he would be standing in the direct line of Zabuza. So the pebble struck Zabuza instead. Due to the force, a lot of the energy was reduced as it went around the world. But it was enough to hit Zabuza, to stagger him for a moment, right in the kidney to seize him up. But Kakashi failed to take him down. Naruto was okay with being the background character, the one that was not noticed. But he did notice that he was getting a lot stronger. The seal was getting weaker. His power was becoming more vast. That alone was an impossible feat that most people can't even dream of. But yet he did it so casually. He didn't really know how to comfort people when they were in pain. As it not to say that he didn't have emotions. Of course he had emotions, but he just expressed them differently. He felt sad, happy, all those things. But watching Inari curse at them, all Naruto could feel was sadness. Sadness in knowing that he could not protect his home. So much sadness. And Naruto felt bad for him. Very so. Thus, he decided that he would help the people of this village, free them from this Gato influence. He would stop this perpetrator. It's a good thing that Kakashi was better at, well, consoling people. When it came to certain things, Kakashi didn't have what it takes to train Hinata, as she was still low level and there were certain things that the Hyugas simply did not do. Other than that, strengthening herself, growing her chakra capacity, things like that he could do, but other than those things, there wasn't much that he could actually give her. Majority of her training was still with her clan, perfecting her stance, perfecting her fighting. However, he could help her with her visual prowess though, using his own speed to see if she could keep up. Her eyes might be fast, but her body was not that fast. So at least he could help there. In order to be a good teammate and help Sasuke, Naruto pretended like he was struggling as well when it came to walking up the tree, as he allowed Sasuke to see it, exactly what was going on, allowing him to think before simply moving in, as Naruto realized that he got it. Naruto could tell him the exact detail and how much chakra he could use, while the Byakugan could see the chakra limit. Naruto could see the exact specific. He could understand the chakra type. He understand the chakra limitations. He understand the points on the bodies that could be open to release more power. He saw the stress on the heart that could be taken to use an extensive amount of chakra. He could see it all without his eyes changing. Naruto was giving it away as Sasuke caught onto it. He smiled, feeling good that he helped out his teammate. He noticed Kakashi watching him though, very carefully, because moments after Sasuke passed the technique, Naruto also as well. Perfect. There wasn't even a hitch. He supposed that was a bit too much of a giveaway, but he was bored with it now. Iniri, having spoken to Kakashi the other night, seemed to be changing for the better. Actually hoping, praying that they could do something where everyone else failed. Iniri started to watch Naruto as he seemed to be the strangest of them all. While the others trained and pushed themselves, he was just walking around admiring the place. Until Naruto finally revealed that he knew that he was there. Naruto stepped out right in front of him and gave him something. It was a wooden sword. What is this? Use it to protect your mother, your grandfather, and your village. I don't know how to fight with a sword, Iniri said. Oh, it should still help. Iniri had no idea what that means. However, the next day, when the team made their way out, Gato sent two people. His mother, to spare her son, immediately agreed to go. But Iniri, refusing to be a coward, shouted, "Let my mother go!" he screamed. The bandits, though, laughed as one of them raised a blade. Tsunami screamed as Iniri ran with a wooden blade. He swinged it. The steel weapon that the bandit was holding shattered into pieces as the force ripped through his stomach area. It was like a repelling force. His body was blown through the foliage, launching and crashing. The other one released Tsunami as he backed away, trembling. Iniri pointed the blade towards him. As that energy consumed the young child, it fired from the tip. It sent him through the woods. Tsunami was shocked as Iniri held the sword in his hand. Naruto's words immediately came to him. It will help. He looked at the blade, feeling inspired, feeling hopeful. Meanwhile, Sasuke was trying his best to keep up. His eyes activated. Him and Naruto were trapped inside. Naruto was simply avoiding the weapons along with him. Since he met Sasuke, Naruto could see the special chakra waiting. And finally, the special chakra bled into his eyes. Hinata, on the other hand, she saw it. Kakashi training had helped her a lot, while Naruto possessed the power to simply break free. He wasn't about to hog all the spotlight. Hinata started to fire kunais within the gaps, triggered with explosives. She was able to create a large enough gap for the both of them to jump through. She stood in front of Haku as he tried to get past her to attack the boys. "It's my turn," she said. She dropped in her stance. She couldn't afford to be weak. She had to become stronger. If she was going to rule her clan one day and abolish certain laws, not only mentally but physically as well. Naruto stopped Sasuke, who seemed to want to intervene, as Hinata went toe-to-toe with Haku. His speed proved to be greater. But this is exactly what Kakashi has been teaching her. She had to rely on not just her eyes, but function with them. He seemed to be an expert when it came to dojutsus despite not possessing a Byakugan. She used the ice to her advantage and the debris on the bridge. As Haku, not seeing everything that she was seeing, one simple misstep, Hinata did not hesitate. Unfortunately though, she couldn't go above a certain limit. But it was enough as she closed his points. As his chakra stopped flowing, she struck him in the chest, both of her hands sending him sailing. He crashed into the railing. She panted. She fell down to one knee, but both boys were by her side. Naruto looked down with a smile. "You did it," he said. She felt so much joy, as Sasuke even seemed to approve by her actions. They won. Kakashi no longer heard anything from the other side. Fearing the safety of his team, he started to pull the battle back, until Haku was seen on the bridge, unconscious. Zabuza was shocked. What the hell? How can these brats defeat Haku? He questioned himself. Kakashi looked proudly towards his team, knowing that they were able to keep themselves protected. He felt joy, he felt pride, despite knowing that there was a lot that he did not know, especially when it came to Naruto. That did not matter right now. "It's over," Kakashi said. Zabuza was stubborn though. He ran forward as one of the metal steel on the bridge. It moved without them noticing. His feet hit against it. Kakashi stepped in. Zabuza cursed, "Not again!" Bam! The uppercut stunned him, the fist in the gut, the fist in the cheek. He was on the ground. He tried to reach for his blade, but he must be going crazy because his blade was yanked away by itself. Hinata snapped her gaze towards Naruto. Sasuke noticed something strange as well. But the match was over. That was until every mist that surrounded them seemed to clear, revealing Gato and his boys that arrived on the bridge. As Zabuza tried to pull himself up, questioning why the hell was he here, Gato was disappointed and he made it clear that he was no longer going to pay him. However, "It's enough!" the voice shouted. Iniri, accompanied by so many people, holding makeshift weapons as he held a wooden blade. "Leave our village alone. No longer will we be afraid," he said. He pointed the blade towards Gato, expecting the power to shoot out, but nothing happened. But despite that, the people rallied behind him though, as they never seen the power and they did not know about it. Iniri blinked as the blade was gone, as Naruto was now holding it in his hand. This blade was no normal blade. It might look useless, but it was far from it. "You conniving little weasel. You dare betray me. I told you what happened to those who betray me," Zabuza said, pissed off by Gato losing faith and turning against him. And now he desired him dead. It was clear. Gato laughed though. "It doesn't matter how much of you they are, right boys?" Gato wondering why the hell did the daughter and the grandson was not brought to him. But that didn't matter anymore. His people started to step forward. Seems we're no longer enemies. Copycat Kakashi. He drew for the weapon, suddenly feeling an enormous amount of strength. What the hell? It must be his rage towards the man that betrayed him. Zabuza proved why he was a demon. Strange part about it was, despite their numbers, even when they were supposed to strike him down, they missed. Gato screamed, pleading for his life, but his head rolled. The others jumped into the water, fleeing for their life. Zabuza walked towards them, Kakashi standing firm. But all he did was take his young apprentice in his arms. "It's best if we don't meet again. Our rematch will end with my victory," he said, pointing his blade towards all of them in a sense. As he ran off, heading the other way with Haku in his arms. The people cheered. They exploded in it, overwhelmed by the fact that they were finally free, and none seemed to be the wiser that majority of that was done by Naruto Uzumaki, who pretended like he did absolutely nothing. As he held the blade in his hand, the blade was not normal. He figured that Gato would do something like this. Naruto's mind was able to operate scenarios, well, millions of scenarios within a couple of seconds. Thus he gave Iniri the blade. While it would not harm anyone close to him or anyone good by accident, it would harm those that threatened to harm him or to take his life or those close to him. But Naruto didn't want Kakashi to see it and heard where he got it from. Iniri or Tsunami wasn't able to tell Kakashi what happened, as Naruto simply wiped their memory of the scene, not allowing them to remember. While he hated to invade people's mind like that, he didn't want anyone to really know just how special he was. But he never wiped his team mind or Hinata's mind. Perhaps he did want some people to know. As they return as heroes, the world still none the wiser. However, circumstances have a way of bringing out the darkest in the most gentlest of people. And that boy right there, while he seemed so calm and nice, it was a monster underneath. Far worse than the Nine Tails. Far worse than anything the Elemental Nation had ever seen. And soon they will awaken him. But guys, be in subs right here. If you want to see part 2, just go ahead and tell me, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.